But if we practice good driving etiquette, we can all become gentler beings. Here are 2 things to keep in mind. First up, when you're changing lanes, make sure to use your blinker. And second, although I do love getting text messages from all of you, don't text and drive. That's a no-no. Good driving etiquette equals safety for all. This campaign is brought to you by Morning Wave in Busan on BEFM. Oh, by the way, tune in to Morning Wave in Busan to get real-time traffic updates. You know your morning commute's better with me, Kat.
지금 방송 광고라는 부메랑을 던져보세요. 소비자를 향해 정확히 날아가는 광고. 힘차게 돌아가는 경제. 부메랑처럼 다시 기업의 이익으로 되돌아오니까요. 방송 광고, 경제에 큰 힘이 됩니다. 부산 방송광고발전협의회.
The time is now 2 o'clock.
Welcome to BFM News at 2. I'm David Kim. North Korea announced today on the successful test launch of a new intermediate-range hypersonic ballistic missile. The missile known as Hwasong-16 was guided by North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and launched from a military site near Pyongyang on Tuesday. According to the Korean Central News Agency KCNA, the missile reached altitudes of 101.1 kilometers and 72.3 kilometers, traveling 1,000 kilometers before landing in the East Sea. The KCNA emphasized the agility and flexibility of the new warhead, underscoring its military and strategic significance. Kim Jong-un hailed the missile as a symbol of North Korea's defense technology superiority, highlighting the country's advancement in solid fuel and nuclear-capable missiles. Prime Minister Han Duck-soo emphasized the nation's duty to honor the victims of the April 3rd Jeju uprising of 1948 and provide solace to their families. Speaking at a ceremony commemorating the 76th anniversary of the uprising, Han highlighted the government's efforts to reconcile past grievances and promote unity. He noted the recent revision of the Jeju April 3rd Special Act aimed at restoring the honor of families previously denied rights due to missing records and ensuring compensation. Han pledged to conclude investigations into the uprising by 2025 and establish a trauma treatment center for survivors and bereaved families. In local news, Busan City is pushing to expand support for victims of rental scams to ensure residential stability and aid in their daily recovery. The plan designed to protect tenants from rental scams consists of 3 major strategies and 12 action items. The city will hold regular monthly meetings for victims of rental scams and conduct investigations into the circumstances of these victims. To expand support for victims of rental scams, financial assistance such as relocation expenses of 1.5 million won or emergency living expenses of 1 million won will be provided. A plan for managing the Busan waterfront has been revealed. The aim is to turn it into a top-notch waterfront city since half of Busan is by the water. Last February, Busan started the basic plan for the management of the Busan waterfront. This plan aims to make waterfront areas more valuable and set rules for developing them. This will make Busan more competitive and improve life for people living there. The plan is expected to finish next February, and its main details were shared today. In international news, U.S. President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping held phone talks on Tuesday aimed at maintaining a manageable level of tension between their respective countries. During the conversation, they explored areas of potential cooperation such as recent joint efforts to address climate change and combat the drug trade as indicated in summaries of the call. However, there were notable points of disagreement, particularly regarding Taiwan and economic matters. President Biden reiterated the U.S.'s support for Taiwan, while President Xi characterized the U.S. involvement in the South China Sea as crossing a red line. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has approved legislation that reduces the military mobilization age from 27 to 25, aiming to bolster the country's defense capabilities. Following 2 years of war resulting in significant losses for Kiev and Russia's advantage in manpower, the measure aims to increase Ukraine's reserve forces, especially as volunteer numbers have declined. Zelensky previously stated the need for an additional 500,000 soldiers in December. Although the bill was passed by MPs in May 2023, it remained inactive until Zelensky's recent approval. And now taking a quick look at the weather here. It's currently raining in Busan City with the mercury averaging 13 degrees Celsius citywide. Rain is forecast to stop by early evening, but cloudy skies will persist throughout tomorrow. And that'll have to do it for this hour's news. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to BEFM Busan 영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM Busan 영어방송.
Coming up next is Steve Hatherly Reboot. BEFM Busan 영어방송.
What you're about to hear is amazing. That's because you're locked in to Busan's #1 English radio station. Whether you're at home, at work, or driving in your car, you will be exposed to radio excellence. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show because it starts right now.
High-speed trains are not only cool in how fast they can transport us from A to B, but also in how they connect parts of a region that wouldn't have otherwise been accessible. Oh, and they also look really cool as well. Of course, in Korea, we have the KTX, and it's fast. But did you know we have a faster version of the KTX on the way? I'll be talking about that this afternoon. It's Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024. I'm Steve Hatherly. This is Steve Hatherly Reboot. Let's go.
You up at home 2:45. Ask you if you want something to eat. Drive around, get drunk, do it over again. Wake you up at night 1:45. I can never stop, wanna have fun. Don't be acting like I'm the kind of girl who can sleep. Every time you say you're gonna go, I just smile 'cause babe, I already know. You know I got nothing under this overcoat. Let go right in. Let your back door in 'cause I wanna come in. Turn your light on. Look at us, you and I, back at it again. Pick you up around 1:45. Usually we got nothing to do. Screw it, baby, you should go and record some of the songs. Got my dress on tight 'cause you know that I look shining in the light. There's so much writing on the side and how we write our love song. Let the light in. Let your back door in. Shine your light on. Look at us, you and I back at it again. 'Cause I love to love you. I hate shit. Put the Beatles on, let the candles go back to bed. 'Cause I want you. I need you. Put the TV on, flowers in a place near your head. Let the light in. Fix your back to the end, 'cause I wanna come in. Take a ride on. Look at us, you and me, back at it again.
That was Lana Del Rey and Father John Misty. I love Lana Del Rey. She always sounds like she doesn't really care that she's singing a song, doesn't she? It's kind of like, whatever, I'm singing to you. But she does it so very well. This song seems to be about the ups and downs of a relationship between two people who enjoy each other's company and have a lot of fun together, but also have their fair share of fights and disagreements. That's everyone, isn't it? The lyrics suggest the protagonist is somewhat impulsive and seeks to have a good time with her significant other, going on drives and maybe having a cocktail or two, and then waking up in the middle of the night and thinking about that person as well. That one got us going today. I am live in the studio from Busan on this Wednesday afternoon, rainy Wednesday afternoon. Welcome to the show, everyone. You're tuned in on BEFM 90.5 in Busan and 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Jongguan, and Noksan areas. In Seoul on TBS EFM 101.3 and in Gwangju on GFM, that's 98.7. I'm your host, Steve Hatherly, and I thank you very much for being with us today. As I mentioned, rainy day here in Busan this afternoon, starting from last night, I think it was, as a matter of fact. So if you're out in the roads, please do drive carefully and leave a little bit of space between yourself and the car in front of you, just in case that car has to punch the brakes a little quickly. That'll leave you some time to do so yourself safely. And bring an umbrella wherever you go today. But the nice news is it's kind of warm outside today. Not exactly. I think it might have been warmer this morning, as a matter of fact, than it is this afternoon. A little cool, but still on the warmish side. So that's a nice feeling to have that rain falling on your head. That's just my opinion. But I love rain. Do you like rain? I enjoy it. Now, PD, do you like rain? I love being at the beach in the rain. Why? There's nobody there. It's empty. When can you go to the beach? Anywhere in Korea, and there's nobody there. Anywhere in the world, for that matter. It's hard to find a beach without one person on it. But if you go when it's raining heavily, then yeah, that's a good time to do it. And the sound of the rain falling on the ocean water, just romantic, don't you think so? A romantic afternoon, perhaps, on the show. Again, welcome, and thanks very much for joining us today. Go to YouTube and watch our live stream. Search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in Korean. You can watch our live stream until the songs start to play. Once they start to play, open up your BEFM app, or you can listen through FM radio as well. Honestly, you can listen through the live stream as well. The audio quality isn't 100% perfect, but the team is working on it, and hopefully at some point this year, it'll be worked out. You can also hear us talking a little bit. Should we be talking during the song break? So that might put you off a little bit if you're looking to catch the tunes 100%. So yeah, watch until the songs start to play, then open up your app or listen through FM radio. All right, on the show today, coming up in hour number 1, we'll kick things off with Hot Off the Press, where you'll check out some of the newest, hottest tracks from the world of music. I'll give you some information about the artists and about the songs as well. After that, Jimmy will be in the studio for today's All Around Busan. Jimmy comes in and introduces one of the various neighborhoods that exists here in the city. Looking forward to finding out where Jimmy's taking us this afternoon. I'll say hi to Jimmy in about 15 minutes or so. He'll stay with me for what remains of hour number 1. Then in hour number 2, for our fun fact of the day, we're going to talk about random facts about the human body. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. You know me, right? You know I love stupid, useless, random facts. They are one of my favorite things in the world. And today, random facts about the human body. That is our topic. After that, we'll move on to Inside Korea, where I have 3 stories for you today, as I always do. First, I mentioned this in the opening. This is pretty exciting. We know that we have the KTX here in Korea. It's fast. It's convenient. It connects many different parts of the country. But there's a newer, faster KTX on the way. KTX 5G? That's not the name. That's not the name at all. Trademark, in case they name it that. I don't know what they're going to call it, but it's going to be a faster version of the KTX. It's going to enter service in May. This is going to be very quick when this is available for us. And I'll tell you the details of that story when we get to our first one for Inside Korea. After that, a change in law. Foreign nationals must stay in Korea for 6 months to be eligible for state health insurance as dependents. That's the key to this story. This is about the dependents. So this is due to, well, there's some different reasons that they're doing this, and I'll go through them when we get to the story. But this is a big deal, of course, and it impacts the expat community here in Korea. So if you are a member of that community, please do listen closely to that second story. Then we talk trains again for story number 3. Seoul is going to be replacing all subway fabric chairs with plastic. So if you're on the subway and you see some spots where there's fabric there, it won't be there anymore. It's going to be all plastic from a certain point on, and I'll tell you about that story as well. Following that perfect playlist, we've got the best songs for every situation, and I will check your messages throughout the program, of course, as well. All right. Here's my question for you today. This is what I want to know. If you could live anywhere other than where you live, where would it be? And I think this was inspired, this question, by the KTX story, because with a new, faster KTX, it's going to reduce travel times, right? Which means if you live outside of Busan, but you work in Busan, you'll be able to get here pretty quickly. If you live outside of Seoul, but you work in Seoul, you'll be able to get there much faster. And conversely, of course, if you live in Seoul, you'll be able to get outside 2 areas outside the city much faster. So here's my question. If you could live any other place than where you live right now, where would that be? And you could think domestically. You could think, well, I would love to live in Gangwon-do and work in Busan. That would be pretty convenient. Or I would love to live on the other coast. Maybe you'd like to live and enjoy the ocean in Mokpo as opposed to any other part of the country. Or, if you want, you can think internationally. Oh, I really want to live in Paris. Oh, I really want to live in Tatamagouche, Nova Scotia. Nobody's saying that today, are they? Nobody's going to answer that one that way today. Well, maybe Mom, if she's listening, but to be fair, that's where she lives already. 지금 사는 거 말고 다른 데서 살 수 있다면 어디인가요? Text me and let me know. Pounder sharp 9050 for 101. Add us on Kakao Talk for free and send messages for free. Search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in Korean. Same search on your smartphone. You can download the app from any of the app stores. You can listen to our programs there and leave us a comment after logging in. We'll take a break and be back with today's Hot Off the Press. Here is Mark Amber, Good to Be.
Chosen one, but I'm my father's son, and that's something I'm pretty proud to be. The colder days have drawn their guns, the warmer days are on the run, and I hate that I'm stuck right in between. I turn my gray skies blue, just trying to be like you. Going top down in that old Mercedes, music loud, go ahead and hate me. Spare the nickel, I'll just keep the dime. Find ways to cut the fat, hot coffee and a trolley pack. It's so good to be alive. Heroes come to save a mess. He sold those inside my chest and found a way to soak up all the stains. Got all my anger bottled up, drop away to fill that cup, but anymore and I might go insane. Oh, I'll turn my gray skies.
That's Korea's new visa.
Just trying to be like you.
I mean the youth. Any personality was coming from both forces, the president. What you're looking at, the people who just work remotely. Oh, yeah. There's a new visa in Korea for that. Oh, yeah. But your salary has to be part-time, more than part-time, then you can get that visa. So you don't have to work here. You can just live here. Yeah, if there's a good pay job.
That was Mark Amber, Good to Be. And now it's time for today's Hot Off the Press, where from Monday to Friday we bring you two of the newest, hottest tracks from the world of music. And a lot of songs are released every week, and we pick out a couple each and every day that we hope that you'll really enjoy. Today we'll start with Rainbow Kitten Surprise. This one's called Superstar. As if channeling another dimension where genres simply don't exist, Rainbow Kitten Surprise finds harmony in unpredictability, weaving together lyrical poetry, hummable melodies, and a rush of instrumental eccentricities. After years of struggling with one of the members' mental health that resulted in writer's block, on-stage episodes, and tour cancellations, suddenly struck by creative intervention, songs once again started to pour out, writing at least one a day for an entire year and forming the backbone of their 22-track opus. Goodness me, that's a lot of songs for one project. We'll hear that, and then we'll hear Flow, Walk Like This. UK R&B trio Flow had an unbelievable first 2 years. Their debut single, Cardboard Box, was an instant hit, lapped up by fans and critics and radio playlists. They followed that up with a tight run of instantly likable tracks, and their debut EP, The Lead, kept their name in good favor. A streak they capped off with a Brit Rising Star Award. All that with barely a pause in between. Busy, busy, busy indeed. All right, here we go with our 2 tracks for Hot Off the Press today. The new one from Rainbow Kitten's Surprise called Superstar, and then Flo, Walk Like This.
Tell me on the tracks and we all die someday. I don't never feel too scared. Maybe just back. Looking better than I did. Still a bad taste when you try to save face, knowing what we did. Doesn't even matter, I'ma kick it, it's a habit, not a ladder, but we climbing and I'll see you upstairs. Someday I'm your ex and I text you say you miss, and all you wanna do is cry, remember you said you told me you love me, baby, I'm your superstar again. I was always gonna win, I was so boring. In your eyes, in your mind, in your heart, in your head, I'm your superstar. I'm your superstar. Give me nothing less. Give me nothing less. Give me nothing. Fell asleep, you're on repeat. Now this is one I know. I hear you sing it all the time. And fellas, it's a show. Stop pretending me we're meant to be. It's like we cracked the code. I lost the key and baby, I bought everything you sold me. You told me you love me, baby. I'm your superstar again. I was always gonna win. I was so valorous. In your eyes, in your mind, in your heart, in your head. I'm your superstar. I'm your superstar. Give me nothing less. Give me nothing less. Give me nothing. Sound. Oh, won't you say it out loud? Won't you say it proud of me just when I'm down? Someday when it comes, I'm gonna beat the buzzer, babe. The scream is because of me. You remember when you told me?
Yeah, like same old.
Baby, I'm a superstar again. I was always second best. I will always second best. And I tried as I might, but in my head, I was losing hope. I was losing love. Till you told me you love me, baby. I'm a superstar again. I was always gonna win. I was so valorous. In your eyes, in your mind, in your heart, in your head. I'm a superstar. I'm a superstar. Give me nothing less.
There's a reason I walk like this. My baby, he be loving on this. When he do it, he be working it. And every night he got me wanting more of it. There's a reason I walk like this. Side to side with a sway in my hips. When he do it, he be working it. And every night he got me wanting more of it. Been the bad girl, I've been fiending. Hit it so good every weekend. Lot of missed calls, but I ain't seen it. I've been too gone, I can't believe it. Got my makeup on this mattress. Been at so long, what's my address? It's an addiction and it's a habit. I can be alive, but he can manage, yeah. We've been going non-stop. Nobody does my body, I'll be does my body. Got this thing on lock. The way he does it, I ain't trying to hit nobody, no. The way that he squeezes and touches it all. If he keeps this up, I might need cut just like. There's a reason I walk like this. My baby, he be loving all this. When he do it, he be working it. And he got me wanting more of it. There's a reason I walk like this. Side to side with a sway in my hips. When he do it, he be working it. Every night he got me wanting more of it. No, ain't no point in fighting it. I'ma tell them how I'm writing it. 'Cause
Hit me up on my river. We've been going non-stop. Nobody does nobody, I mean that's nobody. Got this thing on lock. Don't forget I said I ain't tryna hit nobody, no. The way that these quizzes and touches it all. If it keeps this up, I might be good just like. There's a reason I walk like this. My baby, he be loving all this. When he do it, he be looking at. Every night he got me wanting more of it. There's a reason I walk like this. Side to side with a sway in my hips. When he do it, he be looking at. Every night he got me wanting more of it. All night I've been in this bed, even in my head, I've been in this bed. My body right and left to the thing that can't keep me coming back. All night I've been in this bed, even in my head, I've been in this bed. My body right and left to the thing that can't keep me coming back. There's a reason I walk like this. My baby, he be loving all this. When he do it, he be looking at. He got me wanting more of it. There's a reason I walk like this. Side to side with a sway in my hips. When he do it, he be looking at. Every night he got me wanting more. All night I've been in this bed, even in my head, I've been in this bed. Right and left, so that they do get me back. There's a reason I walk like this. Side to side with a sway in my hips. When he do it, he be working at. And every night he got me wanting more of it.
Those were our two tracks for Hot Off the Press today. Flow, Walk Like This, and before that, Rainbow Kitten Surprise. That's a great band name, isn't it? Superstar was the name of that track. My question for you today, if you don't live where you live now, where would you want to live? You can think anywhere else in Korea, or you can think anywhere else in the world. 지금 사는 곳 말고 다른 데서 살 수 있다면 어디인가요? Let me know. Let's check some of your answers. Insu works for the Busan tourism government, I think, because Insu says, nope, Busan is so attractive, it's so beautiful with mountains, seas, and rivers. I do not want to live anywhere else. You're right. It is true. This city has everything. It really has everything. It has the ocean. It has a bunch of beaches. It has mountains and hiking trails. It has lakes. It really does have everything you need in one city. It's true, Insu, but somewhere else. I'm curious to know. There must be somewhere in your heart, maybe just a little tiny bit you're curious. I don't know. Maybe not. If so, let me know. What else are people saying? Catherine's listening today. Catherine wants to live in the jungle. Okay. But first, she needs to learn how to make a fire before she goes, she says. And then she says, would you join me? If you learn how to make a fire, then okay, I'll go with you. And then I said, well, hey, why don't we all go live in the jungle together? I'll be the radio announcer and you guys can do all the work. If that sounds okay with you, then I am in. MJ's listening today. Thank you for the message, Catherine. MJ says, I want to live in Gyeongju, which has a rich cultural heritage. And then I asked MJ a question. And here's what I want to know. My wife and I went to Gyeongju. Actually, it was when we were moving to Busan. We on our drive to Busan, we stopped overnight in Gyeongju, and it was my first time to visit Gyeongju. It's a really cool place, and they have, what's the name of that street? It's like something Ridan. Is it Gyeongju Ridan or something like? Jimmy's here already. Jimmy's trying to tell me. You can tell me in just a sec. There's a name for it. So there's some really good food and some places to stay there. But in the middle of Gyeongju, there's a giant tomb. It's huge. So we asked the people there, the workers at the restaurant, wow, who's in that tomb? That's really impressive. It must be like one of the most important kings in Korea. Who's in there? And the guy goes, nobody knows. I was like, what? Nobody? Nobody knows who's inside there. He said, yeah, nobody knows. I said, nobody's curious to know. I think he was messing with me. But I'm going to ask Jimmy when I say hello officially in just a sec. If you happen to know, MJ, or anyone else listening, who's in that tomb, I'm super, super curious to know. We couldn't believe that when we heard nobody knows who was inside there. All right, so that's the question today. If you could live anywhere other than where you live, where would that be? Neil says, well, if there's a great job for digital nomads, I want to live in a warmer country all year long. Any warmer country. Anywhere south of the equator, I guess, huh? I wonder if that would be a good thing. You know, if you're living in a place that's always hot and always kind of warm and sunny. Maybe there's a rainy season, but it's never cold. I wonder if that's a good thing or if it's not. Maybe I'm just saying that. Maybe I'm just asking that because it's been so cold in Korea this winter that I'm just trying to make any kind of excuse that it's okay having the cold. But I do wonder because if it's always hot, if it's always sunny, if it's always warm, maybe you lose your appreciation for that. But that being said, it sounds pretty good, that's for sure. Thanks for the message, Neil. All right, so 지금 사는 것 말고 다른 데서 살 수 있다면 어디인가요? Text me #9050 for 101. Add us on Kakao Talk for free. Send messages for free by searching BEFM or 부산영어방송 in Korean. Same search on your smartphone. You can download the app from any of the app stores. You can listen to our programs there and leave us a comment after logging in. It's Wednesday, just after 2:30, and that means it's time to say hi to Jimmy. How you doing, Jimmy?
Yeah, it's what a hump day. Yeah, I'm doing great, and it's raining outside, so I don't get to see all these cherry blossoms fully bloomed, I guess.
Yeah, right, and they're already starting to fall,
I know.
Aren't they? Do you know that do you know that tomb I'm talking about?
In Gyeongju, Hwangridanggil, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Hwangridanggil. That's the name of the street.
Right.
Have you been there before?
See, I always pay attention to what you're saying. Yeah, I already have, a couple of times.
Yeah, it's nice there, isn't it? But there's that giant tomb, like not just a big tomb. I mean, this is huge. It's like a small mountain.
Yeah, there's like a lot of them actually. And if I'm not wrong, I think a lot of noble families probably.
MJ says Michu Wangrung.
Oh, I have no idea.
I have no idea either. That's impressive, though. Yeah, maybe that's why when we asked the guy at the restaurant, he said, 모르겠어. That's weird. You live here.
We should learn, yeah.
Yeah, well, somebody needs to know.
Right.
I don't know who that person is, though, that king, MJ. If you have any extra information, let us know. Yeah. Jimmy, if you could live, I mean, you have lived in a lot of, tell us a few of the places you have lived in your life.
Well, including Korea, I grew up in LA, Los Angeles.
Would you recommend that people live in LA?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I highly recommend you guys to live in LA over New York. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what everybody from LA says.
Yeah. Kelly vibe,
okay,
for sure.
Where else?
Bangkok, Thailand. And also Singapore.
Oh, wow. Very, very well traveled. Where would you live if you could pick another place, not where you live now? Where would you live?
I always thought of myself living in Dubai.
In Dubai?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like when you even look at like those programs from OTT platform, all the riches all gathered together living in Dubai.
Well, you just want to be a Saudi prince or something maybe, don't you?
Yeah.
Or a Dubai prince. All right. Good answer, though, for sure. Let's get into it. It's time for All Around Busan, and you're here to introduce to us one of the cool neighborhoods. From the city.
Yeah, I would like to take you guys to Donggu Choryangdong today. I mean, yeah, this place is really popular. It's actually near Busan Station. So if you're a traveler who's actually coming into Busan by train, you must pass by this neighborhood.
I had a Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
Oh, yummy.
Nearby the Korea Immigration Office, which is nearby Busan Station.
Oh. Wow.
And it's pretty good.
Yeah, tell me that info. I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, right. It's a busy spot, and I think it's one of those places in Busan that all people visit from time to time. I don't mean the restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean the area. Because Busan Station is there, so anytime people come in and leave, you got to go and pick them up, or you drop them off, or something like that. There's a lot of administrative buildings in that area as well. So it seems like there's always a reason to go to the area around Busan Station. Would you agree, or is that just me?
Oh, definitely.
Right?
I mean, yeah, it sounds like you're originally from Busan. Yeah. And also currently, due to the redevelopment of Busan Port, a connecting deck is also planned to be built with the Busan International Passenger Terminal and also the Busan Station itself. So, like, as time goes by, it's going to be more developed as time goes by in this area itself.
What's that project again? What are they doing?
A redevelopment project. So from ferry terminal to Busan Station, there's already a bridge. And then they're willing to connect. So if you have to either transfer or, for the passengers or people's conveniency, they're willing to, they're on the process of making that huge bridge.
Oh, I see. Oh, even more convenient than it already is.
Yeah, connecting back.
Okay,
actually.
so I know about Busan Station, Busan Donggu in general, but I don't know about Choryangdong.
Choryangdong, well, it's right next to Chinatown.
Okay.
Right? So there's a lot of Chinese restaurants.
So that's right across the street from Busan Station.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And right next to that, there's a Choryang traditional market. And right next to that, there is a really, really popular stairs, 168 steps in Choryang Ildong neighborhood. And let me tell you, this place is just always fully filled with tourists because these stairs actually connect to the mountain. And to be able to reach to the top, there is a Sambok Road, which is a road through the mountainside. So many people actually go up there for a walk. And also there's a lot of beautiful murals on the wall. And another reason is that, like, long time ago, they kind of the city of Busan actually bought all those old houses, and they've actually built a monorail there.
So from the bottom of the steps, the bottom of the steps is located where, in Chinatown, or
no, right next to
it. And then when you get to the top of the 168 steps, that's when that little neighborhood starts. There's a monorail at the top.
No, it's right. It's kind of on the stairs, so you could either walk or you could just either take the monorail. It's just kind of a short distance, I think, just for the tourism purpose.
Oh, so you don't have to walk up the stairs. You can take the monorail.
Right. You have choices. You either take the monorail or you could just either walk up. I mean, there are some people, it's depending on the people's taste. 168 steps, I'm just going to walk up. Or some people might go like, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to take photos and I'm going to try this ride.
Yeah, I'm going to try this monorail out.
Right.
So then when you get to the top of the monorail, then what's at the top?
Yeah, it's actually connected to the Choryang Ibagu-길, Ibagu Road. Tourists are actually, you can actually walk along this path and you'll see some awesome murals on the walls, and there are some museums to study and check out about those old histories. And especially in spring, when the cherry blossoms are popping, which is now, don't miss out on walking that, stroll down this Sambok Road, which is a mountainside of the road. So, and then once you walk up even more, there is a observation deck where you can see the whole Busan port.
Oh, wow.
And the bridge. And it's just a phenomenon.
Bring your camera for that one, right?
Right.
Go up the monorail or walk up the 168 steps, and then at the top you've got what's the name of that road? The Sambok Road?
Yeah, Ibagu-gil.
And there's the cherry blossom trees. There's mural paintings on the walls. And when you walk a little further, then you've got the point where you can oversee the entire Busan port.
For sure.
Perfect for your Instagram, isn't it?
So you could also either walk up or you could either just drive, because many people actually love to drive alongside of that Sanbokdoro, the mountainside of the
that's
road.
Not just a walking road.
Right.
Got
so
it.
that road is actually connected to like all places in Busan. From even Seomyeon area, you can start your journey from Seomyeon, like in case of driving. And then you can just drive all the way through that mountainside to the other direction.
Oh, that's cool.
You can pass by the Choryang, and also, you can go all the way to even Yeongdo.
And if you're going to do it now, because the cherry blossoms have been in Busan for about a week and a half now, and they're already starting to fall. The sidewalks now have lots of flower petals on them for sure. So maybe just a few days remaining to do that. All right, we'll take a break. We're learning about Choryang-dong today with Jimmy and All Around Busan, and we'll learn more after Crosby and Etheridge, Falling.
Keeping the cards close. Now I'm losing the war, being waged in my heart. There's a sparkle of hope growing slow in the dark. Ain't it funny the way that you are who you are till you ain't anymore? I ain't anymore. Yeah, I'm falling. Never thought I'd be falling. Every part of me's all in. I ain't afraid to lose. Yeah, darling, I can hear the past calling, telling me to keep walking, walking straight to you. I'm walking straight to you. Yeah, the grass grows greener on the other side, where the sky's always blue and the sun always shines. Yeah, it's cool, you can keep it, I'ma keep it with mine. Yeah, I'm doing alright, yeah, I'm doing just fine. I'm falling, never thought I'd be falling. Every part of me is all in, I ain't afraid to lose. Yeah, darling, I can hear the past calling, telling me to keep walking, walking straight to you. I'm walking straight to you.
Ah, yeah. Whoa. And you responded like this.
I'm falling, never thought I'd be falling. Every part of me's all in. I ain't afraid to lose. Yeah, darling, I can hear the past calling, telling me to keep walking, walking straight to you. I'm walking straight to you. Ooh, 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 ooh.
That was Crosby and Etheridge, Falling. And today with Jimmy and All Around Busan, we're learning about Choryang-dong. And I was looking at some images of the stairs. And I am all about that monorail.
Right?
The stair, this is a lot. It's very, very steep, isn't it?
It is.
This neighborhood looks like, I was looking at some of the pictures, you have some colorful buildings there, and you have a very steep kind of, it's on the side of a hill, this neighborhood, or at least part of it. where did I go where I took my car with all the pink and green and yellow, all the buildings there? One of the first neighborhoods you recommended.
Kamcheong Culture Village.
Right. It's a little tiny bit similar.
Right.
Because it's just so steep on the side of a hill, right? Yeah.
The monorail itself probably only fit one person, and then it's so tiny that I don't think neither of us will fit in there, though.
You go up and then send it back for me. It is kind of small, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then from the top, NaPD was showing me pictures that people had taken from their blog posts.
Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful view of the city. And I think going in the daytime is great, but maybe going in the nighttime on a clear evening is even better because you have the color contrasts of the lights at night plus all the buildings, but then in the distance you get the colors from the bridge. You see the watercolor as well. It's really a pretty photo opportunity.
For sure.
Isn't it?
So this is the spot where, I would like to recommend for travelers or even travelers from, overseas or even in other town. It's kind of the Choryangdong itself. It's kind of the point where you start your journey of Busan or you end up your journey in Busan. You have two choices, actually, because it's right across from Busan Station.
From Busan Station. 1191 says, I lived in Choryang for a long time, and I moved when I was in high school. I think Choryang is a good place for transportation and for living as well.
For sure.
Yeah, and particularly if you use the KTX a lot, there's no better neighborhood
than Choryang.
I always wish, I wish, and I don't know if this will ever happen or if it's possible to happen. Probably not. But I wish there was a KTX station nearby Haeundae somewhere.
It will be.
They're going to make one?
There is a new Haeundae station. But right now, KTX doesn't run. But by the time of probably within 5 years or so, the KTX will end their journey in new Haeundae station.
Oh, Busan Station will be the second last
probably
stop in Haeundae.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
That's
news.
what the city of Busan is actually working on that right now.
Very cool. All right. Anything else in this neighborhood we need to know about?
Yeah, I would just like to know, I would just like to briefly go over Choryang Ibagukil a bit, because for those of you who are interested in the background of Busan or history, you can actually walk along this Ibagu Road, because you can actually get to know all sort of information from 1950s, during the colonial period, even after liberation, and also from 70s, 80s, and up to the present day. So it actually showcases the diverse faces of Busan. So if you want to know more detailed ideas about Busan and learn history, you can just walk along and you can check out those storytelling photos and murals as well.
Very cool to know. Good learning experience.
Yeah.
If you visit this area. All right. What about food? What do we eat?
Here, you must try Choryang 돼지갈비.
Oh, yes.
Because there is a Choryang pork 갈비 street alley of restaurants.
Do they have 등갈비?
등갈비? I'm not sure. No, I don't think so.
Okay. I was going to leave right now if they had 등갈비.
So, yeah.
There's a whole street dedicated to pork rib places, though.
For sure.
That's awesome. How many I'm sure you don't know, but roughly how many restaurants are on this street?
Roughly about 20 restaurants. So some people might think 20? That's a little, but it's actually huge for that one alley itself.
Yeah, right? Because the alley isn't really big at all, yeah? These restaurants would have been around for a long time, too.
It has existed from 30 to 50 years.
Oh my, it must be really good food there.
I know.
You've eaten there?
Yeah, I've eaten there 3-4 times, and I love the atmosphere because nowadays they don't really fire the gas or fire with the briquette fire. So yeah, everything transparent to electric. But now, you can actually check out this old briquette fire grilled over that, and then you can just eat some juicy pork ribs and,
Old school.
Yeah.
Old school. How did this place in the city become famous for 돼지갈비?
Oh, yeah. I mean, refugees to Busan and the downtown area. So restaurant began to open in the 1950s. So it got its old history. And workers near the pier had to eat something out of it. But back then, as you know, the shortage of food. But, this nutritious and cheap 돼지갈비 became really popping in this street itself. So ever since then, it became a 돼지갈비 alley.
Goodness me. And the restaurants are good because they've survived, since the 1950s. So the restaurants are 70 some years old.
Right.
So they're good. You recommend this neighborhood, yes?
Oh, for sure. You can just go up to that, mountain, and then you can check out this beautiful view day and night. And then you can also come down and try this delicious 돼지갈비.
Perfect.
What a day.
Perfect. Next time the sun is shining in the next few days, take advantage, go to this neighborhood and get those cherry blossom pictures before the flower petals fully fall off the trees, right?
For sure.
Awesome. Jimmy, thank you very much for the information on Choryangdong today. Enjoy your week, and we will see you again next time.
All right. See you next week.
Take care, Jimmy.
Bye.
Stay with me for hour number 2. It's Avicii to wrap the first today. Wake Me Up.
I'll catch up with you later. I can tell where the journey will end. I know where it's all. They tell me I'm too young.
Don't drink coffee.
They say I'm caught up in a dream.
If I don't have coffee, I can't live.
Life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. So that's fine by me. So wake me up when it's all over. When I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself in love. Didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over. When I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. I tried carrying the weight of the world, but I only had 2 hands. Hope I get the chance to travel the world, but I don't have any plans. Wish that I could stay forever this young, not afraid to close my eyes. Life's a game made for everyone, and love is the prize. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older.
Your Reach to the World. BEFM 부산 영어방송.
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전 기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 알 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, B&K 부산은행과 함께합니다.
During the span of 1,023 days, from August 18, 1950, 2 months after the Korean War had begun, until August 15, 1953, when the Korean government was re-established in Seoul, the city of Busan had served as the provisional capital. The president and government officials, soldiers and civilians had all made their way down to Busan to avoid the war. A city of 400,000 quickly turned into a city of 1 million. Since then, 8 places, which include the Provisional Government Building, the Busan Modern History Museum, and the UN Memorial Park, have been listed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. In 2025, the list of World Heritage Sites will be finalized by UNESCO. Korea, one of the last remaining divided countries in the world, and the city of Busan, once the provisional capital, still value and send out that same message of peace. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM, Busan 영어방송.
The time is now 3 o'clock.
You're listening to Steve Hatherly Reboot on BEFM 90.5.
Hey, how are you? Did you see the news today? It's been getting crazy, but it's always been that way. Are you holding up? And do you turn off your TV when it makes you worry before you fall asleep? Don't let it bring you down.
No, I didn't see that.
Don't let it
7.4.
Holy
Holy
cow. Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it bring you down. Make it a memory. Make it a memory. I know it's quiet, and the days are dragging on. Do you go outside? Life is lighter in the sun.
Goodness.
And just live it up. Buy yourself a new guitar. A couple melodies will get you pretty far. Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it bring you down. You see what tomorrow brings. Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it bring you down. Make it a memory. Make Make it a memory. Make it a memory. Make it a memory.
What a pretty song. That was Krizip and Danny Vera with Make It a Memory. And that song is about the singer asking her partner if they are okay in these crazy times and telling them not to let things bring them down. And then there's a suggestion of going outside and enjoying the sunshine, maybe even buying a new guitar to play some music and make some new memories. The chorus repeats multiple times, reminding everyone to not let life bring you down and instead try to make some positive memories even if times are a little bit tough. Good advice, but easier said than done from time to time, for sure. Nice tune, though. That one got us into the second hour of Steve Hatherly Reboot on this Wednesday afternoon. You're tuned into the show on BEFM 90.5 in Busan and 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Jongguan, and Noksan areas. Up in Seoul on TBS EFM 101.3 and in Gwangju on GFN 98.7. Coming up in hour number 2 of the show today, we're going to start with our fun fact of the day. And this is a very, very loose connection to the second story in Inside Korea. The second story is about health insurance, and I thought, well, health insurance is related to our bodies, so let's learn some more little fun facts about the human body today, shall we? Why not? I love learning about the human body. Little factoids about it just kind of blow my mind. I'm always fascinated by our brains and how our brains interact with the rest of us and how we're able to move and sleep and wake up and all of it, and think and have thoughts and see things when we close our eyes, even though our eyes are closed. All of that absolutely blows my mind. So anytime I have an opportunity to learn more about the human body, I absolutely take it. Yes, that'll be our topic for Fun Fact of the Day. After that, for Inside Korea, 3 stories as usual coming for you. The first one, the president has said a new, faster KTX train is going to be available to us, and it's going to be available very, very soon. It's going to be entering service in May, as a matter of fact. So I'll tell you all about that. The next story, as I mentioned, it's about health insurance. If you're a member of the expat community here in Korea, this is important information for you to know. Foreign nationals must stay in Korea for 6 months to be eligible for state health insurance as dependents. This is not for someone who is sponsored by a company and has health insurance. No, this is not about those types of workers. This is for dependents. There's a change in the system coming up. There's reasons for it, and I'll tell you all about it when we get to our second story. After that, goodbye fabric chairs, hello plastic chairs. That's the idea for subways in Seoul. They're going to be replacing all the fabric chairs with plastic chairs, and I'll tell you about that too. After that, we'll have the best songs for every situation for Perfect Playlist, and I'll check your messages throughout the second hour of the show as well. Question of the day today. If you could live anywhere other than where you live, where would it be? 지금 사는 곳 말고 다른 데서 살 수 있다면 어디인가요? Well, for me, I'll talk about how one of the reasons that I moved to Korea. We've gotten lots of messages today saying, Busan is this beautiful place and it has everything. It has the mountains, it has the oceans, and it's all true. Well, where I'm from is kind of similar, actually. Nova Scotia in Canada is a beautiful place. If you love nature, you will love Nova Scotia. When my wife and I went to Nova Scotia, it was her first time to visit the east coast of Canada. She spent some time in Vancouver before, but the east coast of Canada is very different from the west coast of Canada geographically. Well, location, obviously, but just the vibe as well. And when we were driving, everywhere we drove, my wife is just like, Trees, trees, more trees. Oh, look, some trees. Oh, look over there, more trees, trees, trees. There's just trees everywhere. You feel like when you are in Nova Scotia, you feel like you are in the middle of a forest. A beautiful forest with clean, healthy air. Air pollution is never an issue in Nova Scotia. You look up and you will see beautiful, clear skies. The ocean is never far away in Nova Scotia. My parents have a place at the beach where the water is warm and clean to swim in, so that's not an issue. So why would I move? Right? Why would I leave that? That was a question that a lot of people asked me. When they asked me, they didn't say, why are you moving to Korea? Because Korea wasn't the issue. I could have moved anywhere, and they would have had the same question. Why are you moving to Australia? Why are you moving to Japan? Why are you moving to Italy? Why are you moving anywhere? Why don't you want to stay here, right? And I had an answer for that. And when I was about 22, I think, I forget where, but I was looking at a world map, and I found Nova Scotia on the world map. And I noticed that Nova Scotia, if you look at the whole world, Nova Scotia is really small, right? It's like a pin on the world map. It's a pin. And suddenly my mind went like, whoa. And I thought, wow, you know, this is a really wonderful place. And the people in Nova Scotia are so kind. And we have the ocean, and we have the mountains, and we have, you know, everything that we need. So why would and we have cheap lobster. So why would I leave? Well, this was my thought. To me, the world is like the same place. I've mentioned before on the show, we have to take care of the planet because we are all roommates, right? We all live in the same apartment that is Earth. So when I looked at the map and I saw how small Nova Scotia was, I realized, well, I love this place, but I have to learn more. I have to go somewhere else, and I have to learn some more about other cultures or other foods or other people. And this will always be my home, Nova Scotia. I talk about Tatamagouche a lot, right? I talk about Nova Scotia a lot. That's where I'm from. That's my home. And someday, maybe, you know, 80s, 70s, 80s, I hope my wife and I can have a place there and a place in Korea as well. But that's why I moved initially. That was one of the reasons for it. But, you know, anytime I ever have a chance to go back to Nova Scotia, well, that's where I'm from. And if you have a chance to go there someday too, then I would recommend that to you. Claire texted and said, I've been to Halifax and had lobster there during the summertime. Oh, very nice. Down on the waterfront, I wonder. The Halifax Harbor waterfront area is a really cool place to hang out in the summertime. You get great food, great drinks there. If you're lucky, then you might be there for the International Busker Festival that Halifax has in the summertime. Yeah, it's a cool spot. But anyway, yeah, I that's the reason that I moved away from there initially. And again, someday I'll have a place there, that's for sure. All right, so that's my question for you. If you could live anywhere other than where you live now, where would it be? 지금 사는 곳 말고 다른 데서 살 수 있다면 어디인가요? Text me #sharp 9050 on your cell phone for 101. Add us on Kakao Talk for free and send messages for free by searching BEFM or 부산영어방송 in Korean. Same search on your smartphone. You can download the app from any of the app stores. You can listen to our programs there and leave us a comment after logging in. All right, so here's our expression for today. This is from King the Land. And this is more about, I think, culturally than the cultural side of the expression than it is about the words themselves, because the expression is really, really, really easy, and it's really easy in English too. But I wanted to talk about it because of the cultural aspect. So in this scene, the hotel director has gone down to the basement of the hotel to speak with one of the employees in the laundry room. Now, he is the hotel director and she is a hotel maid. So when she speaks to him, she is speaking to not just her boss, because he's not her boss. He's the director of the whole hotel. So she's speaking very formally and very politely to him because of his position. But she asks him a question because she wants to speak to him in a more casual style. So this is the question that she asks him.
말 편하게 해도 될까요?
말 편하게 해도 될까요? 말 편하게 해도 될까요? All right, so let's translate this first, and then let's talk about the culture. And if I'm wrong about the culture, please feel free to correct me or tell me that I'm wrong, because obviously I'm not a Korean culture expert, but I do think I understand. Okay, so let's translate it first. 말, talk, 편하게, comfortably or casually, 해도 될까요? Can I or may I? So, talk comfortably, may I? Switch the English around, English grammar, and the translation said, may I speak casually? And if you look in the dictionary, then you can find another sentence which is very similar, which is, may I speak comfortably or can I speak comfortably? If you're wondering the difference, by the way, between can and may, they're the same meaning, except one is usually more polite. May is more polite than can. So let's talk about the culture. Not PD, please correct me if I'm wrong, or if you're listening, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But here's what I thought when I was watching that scene. So she works in the laundry room, and he's the director of the hotel. So in her position, in Korean culture, she can't just say whatever she wants to him. She can't speak in a style. She can't use 반말. She can't really... she has to be careful the way she talks to him, because she's an employee at the company and he's the director of the company. So she has to be very careful and choose her words carefully. That's why she asks this question. So Korean people will sometimes ask each other if one person should be speaking very formally in this kind of situation, employee and boss. 말 편하게 해도 될까요? What that means is, I'm asking for your permission so that I can be more casual in my speaking style and about the topic that I want to talk to you about. Both of those things mixed together. And because we didn't play the clip, but because she asked the question, he answers the question. 네, 편하게 말씀하세요. 편하게 말씀하세요 means yes, please speak comfortably. So if you are in a situation where it's kind of a formal situation, perhaps with an older Korean person or a senior at your company or something like that, and you want to kind of talk about something a little complain something at the company, or if you want to talk about something at the company that maybe you wouldn't normally say, then you can say 말 편하게 해도 될까요? And they will answer you, 네, 편하게 말씀하세요. Or they will say, 아니요. If they say 아니요, then just, I don't know, stop talking. But if they say yes, it doesn't mean use 반말. That does not mean use 반말. It simply means, please speak your mind. What's in your heart, say what you want to say. That's what it means. Do you agree? I think there's a difference in Western culture and Korean culture. That's why this sentence, may I speak casually, may I speak comfortably, I don't think you'd hear that sentence used very often if at all, in English language culture. But again, I'm not an expert. Feel free, text in and tell me I'm wrong. And we can talk about it some more if you like. All right, so there you go. Those are your expressions for today. Hopefully that helps out your English or your Korean, depending on which one you are studying. If not both, we'll have a break and be back with our fun fact of the day and learn a few little factoids about the human body. First, here's Levi Hammond, Stupid.
I don't care what the talk is, ain't sure what the truth is. Don't wanna overthink a kiss, yeah. I just know when it feels right. I just miss what you felt like. We can have this up when the sun shines. But tonight, I wanna be stupid. I don't want things to make sense. I don't wanna be right, don't wanna move on, don't wanna waste time, don't wanna be strong. I wanna be reckless and a little bit dangerous. Don't wanna be shy, don't wanna back down, don't wanna be cool, don't wanna be proud. I wanna be stupid, stupid with you. Your eyes give it all up, so let's see what they're made of. Don't have to fall back in love, no. Sometimes you just need a good time. Some hearts just need a rewind. We're too young and we're too high, not to be dumb, not to be blind and stupid. I don't want things to make sense. I don't wanna be right, don't wanna move on, don't wanna waste time, don't wanna be strong. I wanna be reckless and a little bit dangerous. Don't wanna be shy, don't wanna back down, don't wanna be cool, don't wanna be proud. I wanna be stupid. I wanna be stupid with you. Let's go another round when the sun comes up. Loving how your lips just shut me up, but I can't shut up the crazy inside my head. I wanna be stupid. I don't want things to make sense. I don't wanna be right, don't wanna move on, don't wanna waste time, don't wanna be strong. I wanna be reckless and a little bit dangerous. Don't wanna be shy, don't wanna back down, don't wanna be cool, don't wanna be proud. I wanna be stupid, stupid with you. I wanna be stupid, stupid with you. Get stupid, stupid.
That was Levi Hammond with Stupid, and now it's time for our fun fact of the day. And I've got some facts for you about the human body, and this is something that I learned from a Newsweek article. There was an interview conducted with Jeff Foster, who is a medical director of UK-based healthcare provider H3 Health, and he was talking about some amazing and unknown facts about the human body. And he said that he thinks we take our bodies for granted. That was the first thing he talked about. Do you agree with that? I absolutely 100% agree with that. Not everyone, of course, but generally speaking, we don't take care of it as much as we should, right? Generally speaking. And I think the reason for that is because it's really hard to take care of your body perfectly all the time, right? It is very, very, very challenging. He said, this is his quote. He said, I started to learn about the human body in medical school, but even after 20 years of working in medicine, I'm still finding out new, weird, and amazing things about the body. So this is what he had to say. MJ says, please turn on your mic, Steve. Nappity, is YouTube turned off by any chance? Yeah, maybe. Yes, it was. There we go. Now YouTube is turned back on. Sorry about that. So some fascinating facts about the body. Here we go. I'm not going to go through all 12, but I'll pick out the ones that I thought were kind of interesting. This, I didn't know. I'll make this like a little mini quiz. I won't wait for your answers, but I'll give you, just 5 seconds to think about it. What is the fastest muscle in your body? The fastest muscle in your body. Without thinking too much, I would guess maybe your hamstrings, maybe on the back of your legs. That's called your hamstrings. I would think that. Maybe your biceps or something. I don't know. But no, the fastest muscle in your body is your eye. Sharon Copeland is an optician at Feel Good Contacts, and she said the fastest moving muscle in the human body is the orbicularis oculi, capable of contracting in less than 1/100th of a second. Ooh, if you need to blink, I guess, is that what we're talking about? The skin around, or is it the eye itself? Anyway, according to her, your eye is your fastest muscle. A blink can typically last about 100 to 150 milliseconds. So when you blink more, when you talk, and maybe less when you're reading. This is why you get tired when you're reading. I don't know. Does that make sense? The eye is the fastest muscle in your body. Ooh, maybe that's where that expression comes from. Things happen in the blink of an eye. Here's another one related to eyes. What percentage, I'll make it a question. What percentage of human beings have green eyes? What do you think? What percentage of human beings have green eyes? The answer, 2%. 2% of the world's population has green eyes, and the largest concentration of green-eyed peoples is in Ireland, Scotland, and Northern Europe. But all races, including Asian, African, Caucasian, Pacific Islanders, Arabic, Hispanic, indigenous peoples to the Americas, they can have green eyes. But all babies are born with blue or brown eyes, and green eyes can take between 6 months and 3 years to appear in children. But if you see someone with green eyes, you can say, you're in the 2% club, because the other 98%, they don't have green eyes. Interesting, huh? This next one I've talked about on the show before, so we don't need to spend any time about it. Your skin is your largest organ. But did you know this? Yes, your skin is your largest organ. But let me ask you this question. How much of your total body weight does your skin account for? How much of your total body weight does your skin account for? The answer, 15%. About 15% of your entire weight is because of your skin. Oh, that sounds heavy. Our skin is super heavy. I never even thought about that before. But that's why our skin is so important. We have to take care of our skin. It's our largest organ, and it's ultra heavy, and it keeps stuff on the inside from coming out, but it keeps our temperature, our core temperature, at the right spot. It helps us with touch and sensation. It helps us to move without restriction. It's insanely important to us, but we don't spend enough time taking care of our skin, do we? And if we do, and we have our facial routines, we only take care of the skin on our face, but we don't think about the rest of our body. Have to spend more time on that. One more? Do you want to do one more? All right. How do I make this a quiz question? I can't make this. I'll just tell you. When we breathe, I didn't know this. When we breathe, we favor one nostril. Nostril is the word for the hole in your nose. Well, the two holes in your nose. The same doctor, Dr. Foster, said we naturally tend to alternate from one nostril and then to the other, as this helps keep the air we breathe moist so as not to irritate our lungs. Our bodies give one nostril a break when the other is active. We just don't know about it. Oh, did you know this, now, PD? When you breathe, you're only using one nostril, and your body just naturally switches back and forth, and it doesn't tell you when. Oh, that's my brain exploding inside my head. I had no idea about that one. Is there anything else interesting? You're taller in the morning. We erase memories when we get older, and we reform them. We know about that, right? We talked about that on the show. Okay, let's do one last one. Okay, let's try this together. Okay? I'll give you some instructions here. All right, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to try to swallow. Napi, do you want to play? Okay. Try to swallow and then breathe in through your nose at the same time. Swallow and breathe in through your nose at the same time. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, go. It's impossible. You can't do it. You're either doing one or the other, but you're never doing both at the same time. Oh, gosh. I could do this every single day. Body fact quizzes. That's today's fun fact. We'll have a musical interlude. And when we come back, 3 stories for Inside Korea. Here is Temecula Road, Hoping.
Keys from a daddy. Poured a couple bucks of gas in the Chevy. I'm tucking in my shirt, bought a dozen reds for her. I'm hoping, hoping, hoping. I'm in my room, putting on my makeup, wrestling my hair out of the hairbrush. Zipping up my dress, mom's perfume on my neck. I'm hoping, hoping, hoping. Hoping we end up somewhere in each other's arms. Hoping for some country underneath the stars. Hoping one kiss will be some more love comes after that. I'm hoping she's my first, and I'm hoping he's my last. Hoping, I'm making that long walk to a front porch. I'm waiting for that knock on my front door. I'm taking one more step. I'm taking one more breath. I'm hoping, hoping, hoping. Hoping we end up somewhere in each other's arms. Hoping for some country underneath the stars. Hoping one kiss will be some more love comes after that. I'm hoping she's my first, and I'm hoping he's my last. Hoping this night never ends. I look at her and I look at him. Hoping, hoping,
Do you know the difference?
hoping, hoping,
I'll explain it.
hoping.
That's like super picky, but technically it is correct.
Hoping, hoping, hoping.
I'll do that at home.
Hoping, hoping, hoping.
That was Temecula Road with Hoping. And now it's time for Inside Korea. 3 stories to share with you today, as I usually do on a Wednesday afternoon, so let's jump right in. President Yoon Suk-yeol said Monday that a new and faster model of the Korea Train Express, that's the KTX, I don't think I ever thought about what that actually stood for, Korea Train Express, will enter service soon in May to help shorten travel times and boost regional development. Yoon made the remark after taking part in an unveiling ceremony for the KTX Cheongryong, named through a public contest to mean Blue Dragon in the year of the Blue Dragon. It happened at Daejeon Station. That is a city that's about 140 kilometers south of Seoul. The KTX Cheongryong will be the fastest train in the country with a maximum speed of 320 kilometers per hour. The presidential office said the train's advanced speed controls make it optimal for the country's railways with their many curves and short distances between stops. Moreover, the new model was manufactured with 100% local design and engineering and 87% domestic parts. So this really is truly a Korean high-speed train. Starting in May, we're going to put the train into service on the Gyeongbu and Honam lines and expand rapid high-speed trains that shorten travel times by up to 30 minutes. This is really impressive. He said this during a ceremony marking the 20th anniversary of the KTX trains at the Korea Railroad Corporation, which is located in Daejeon. So, rapid high-speed trains will stop only once or twice to reduce travel time between Seoul and Busan to 2 hours and 10 minutes. Wow, that's impressive. Now it's 2 hours and 30 minutes, roughly, somewhere around there. So this is quite a difference. Yongsan to Gwangju is going to be an hour and a half, an hour and 30 minutes. So this is a significant change. Again, this is launching in May, so there's plenty to be excited about there. I would look forward to trying that out and see what it's like. Always fun to try a new train when it launches, right? Moving on to story number 2. Foreign and overseas Koreans can only become eligible for the state health insurance coverage as dependents if they reside in Korea for at least 6 months, according to the health ministry. This news came out just yesterday. This is a tightened rule, and it goes into effect today, and it comes as some foreigners have reportedly exploited the nation's health insurance system. Media reports have said that some foreign nationals working in Korea registered their siblings and other relatives as dependents and arranged temporary visits to Korea for medical treatments. Previously, all foreigners could enroll their family members as dependents in the public health insurance program for employees upon meeting specific criteria, such as income and perhaps assets. There was also criticism regarding the fairness of the public health insurance program for foreign independent subscribers, as they already need to reside in Korea for at least 6 months to qualify. The updated policy excludes spouses and children under the age of 19 and individuals with visas in some various categories, as well as those with permanent residency status, can also immediately qualify as dependents. The rest of the group, though, got to be here for at least 6 months. As of 2022, the number of expats enrolled in public health insurance came to 1.32 million people, and that number, I assume, is going to continue to grow. Story number 3, moving on. Seoul Metro, operators of subway lines 1 through 8, said yesterday that it will replace all fabric chairs with reinforced plastic chairs by 2029 to keep the subway clean from bed bugs and other pollutants. Fabric currently accounts for about 54% of all subway seats operated by the city-run corporation, followed by reinforced plastic at 29% and stainless steel seats at 17%. I don't think I realized there were that many fabric seats on the subway trains, 54%. First of all, fabric seats in 340 subway cars on line 3, which are due for replacement. Those will be replaced with reinforced plastic chairs. That's going to cost a lot of money. That's going to be 4.5 billion won, or about $3.3 million. And the replacement of fabric chairs in all other subway cars will be completed by, like I mentioned, by 2029. 54% are fabric, and it's going to take them about 5 years to complete all of the changes, but eventually all plastic in terms of the seats on the subways. All right, that's it for Inside Korea for today. We'll have a break and come back with Perfect Playlist. Here's DJ Snake and Justin Bieber, Let Me Love You.
We were burning on the edge of something beautiful, something beautiful. Selling a dream, smoking mirrors keep us waiting on a miracle, on a miracle. They go through the darkest of days, heaven to heartbreak away. Never let you go, never let me down. Oh, it's been a hell of a ride, driving the edge of a knife. Never let you go, never let me down. Don't you give up, nah, nah, nah. I won't give up, nah, nah, nah. Let me love you, let me love you. Don't you give up, nah, nah, nah. I won't give up, nah, nah, nah. Let me love you, let me love you.
We went to the same lawyer's office. The document. You mean the second one? Yeah. And then they told us to go just down the street. Because the stuff from here get used to.
Don't you give up, nah, nah, nah. I won't give up, nah, nah, nah. Let me love you. Let me love you. Don't you give up, nah, nah, nah. I won't give up, nah, nah, nah. Let me love you. Let me love you. Nah, nah, I won't give up, nah, nah, nah. Let me love you, let me love you. Don't you give up, nah, nah, nah. I won't give up, nah, nah, nah. Let me love you, let me love you.
DJ Snake and Justin Bieber, Let Me Love You. And now it's time for Perfect Playlist. And our theme this week, songs about hurrying. And the first one this afternoon will be Tracy Chapman, Fast Car. In this song, the protagonist recognizes that if she doesn't get out of the depressive, opportunity-depleted environment that envelops her, then she will be destined to repeat her parents' legacy. She thus hurries off out of town with a boyfriend who has a fast car. The couple endure challenges that include life in a homeless shelter. The narrator eventually gets a job and they have children, yet the couple find themselves repeating the toxic cycle that the narrator sought to escape. A classic, of course, from Tracy Chapman. After that, Rascal Flatts' Life is a Highway. This song uses the metaphor of life as a long highway with bumps and twists and turns that is over before you know it. The narrator in this song beckons the listener to join in on the exciting and unpredictable journey that life has to offer. A couple of songs for you for this theme, songs about hurrying this week. Tracy Chapman, Fast Car, Rascal Flatts, Life is a Highway.
To anywhere, maybe we make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. You got a fast car. I got a plan to get us out of here. Been working at the convenience store. Managed to save just a little bit of money. Won't have to drive too far. Just cross the border and into the city. You and I can both get jobs and finally see what it means to be living. See, my old man's got a problem. Yeah, but the bottle, that's the way it is. He says his body's too old for working. His body's too young to look like his. My mama went off and left him. She wanted more from life than he could give. I said somebody's got to take care of him. So I quit school and that's what I did. You got a fast car. Is it fast enough so we can fly away? You gotta make a decision. Leave tonight or live and die this way. So I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast I felt like I was drunk. City lights stay out before us, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belonged. I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car. We go cruise and entertain ourselves. Still ain't got a job. Now work in the market as a checkout girl. I know things will get better. You'll find work and I'll get promoted. We'll move out of the shelter, buy a bigger house and live in the suburbs. So I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast I felt like I was drunk. City lights stay out before us. Your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belonged. I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car. I got a job that pays all our bills. Instead of drinking late at the bar. See more your friends than you do your kids. I'd always hope for better. Thought maybe together you and me find you. They got no plans, they ain't going nowhere. Take your fast car and keep on driving. So I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast I felt like I was drunk. City lights stay out before us. Your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belonged. I had a feeling I could be someone. someone, be someone. You gotta fast car. Is it fast enough so you can fly away? You gotta make a decision. Leave tonight and live and die this way. Like the road that you travel on. There's one day here and the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside every darkened door where blues won't haunt you anymore. Where the brave are free and lovers soar. Come ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate to break down the garden gate. There's not much time.
Is that Rascal Flatts? Oh, yeah. Oh, right. The original is Tom Cochrane, right? Oh, yeah. I think they disbanded several years ago.
Through all these cities and all these towns, it's in my blood and it's all around. I love you now like I love you then. This is the road and these are the hands. From all St. Beats to those Memphis nights, the cowbell paths have been cool sights. And knock me down and back up again. You're in my blood, I'm not a lonely man. There's no road I can hold, a road so rough, this I know. I'll be there when the light comes in. Just tell me we're survivors. Life is a highway. I wanna ride it all night long. If you're going my way, I wanna drive it all night long. Gimme, yeah. Life is a highway. I wanna ride it all
So I didn't see that. Did you say like that's 100% until oh, okay. I think maybe you should get a
but now we look it in the eye. There ain't no road that I can't hold. A road so rough, this I know. I'll be there when the light comes in.
I got a message from 6453. This will be our last message of the day in reference to what I was talking about, the expression of the day at the beginning of the second hour. And I said the difference between may and can, just may is more polite, but they're basically the same thing. I have been pseudo-corrected. The message says may and can, although used interchangeably, are quite different. May requires permission from the other person, whereas can is just asking about the possibility of something. For example, if a student asks a teacher, "Can I go to the bathroom?" the teacher answers, "Yes, you can, but you may not." You get the difference? This is so what this message means is in casual everyday conversation, in native English speakers, we use can and may to be the exact same meaning. But technically, may is asking for permission if you are allowed to do something, whereas can, you're either talking about the physical ability to do something or the possibility of doing something. So, can I jump now? Well, yes, physically, I am capable. Yes. May I? No, you may not, because you're doing a radio show now. Do you understand the difference between the two? If it's confusing, don't worry about it. For everyday English, you can just use can and may to mean exactly the same thing. Thanks for the message, though, 6453. And you are absolutely 100% spot on there. All right, that'll do it for Steve Hatherly Reboot for this afternoon. Thanks for being with me over the last couple of hours today. I had a good time this afternoon. I hope you did as well. Thank you to Jimmy for today's All Around Busan. Thank you to you, as always, for your listenership and your participation. I've been your host, Steve Hatherly, and I will leave you today with Elton John and Kiki D. Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Enjoy that. Enjoy your day, and we'll reboot again tomorrow.
Nobody knows it. Nobody knows. Right from the start.